Okay, and then we want to do a new, and we'll make it 3D, and this should be going to, not there. It should be going to subtitles, and then create project. Join folder. Okay. Well, it's loading everything. Okay, and then show an Explorer. All right. Okay, so subtitles, and I want to create a new folder here called audio source. Actually, let's call it audio source. And I'm going to copy this folder in from here. All right. Okay. So what I should probably do is explain what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm going to create a project. Let me start that again. Let me explain what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a project for an up and coming video that is all about subtitles. Now I've created this wonderful scenario. This is my scenario here. Just center that there. You probably can't see it. That is it. That's all. That's all the information I need in here. I've created a bit of a script. I've recorded that script, and I've recorded some voiceover for video, and I'm going to load that into Audacity just now. So I'm going to go and grab this folder here, and we can all laugh at my wonderful accents. Yes, let's do that. So here is the current sort of setup. So if I press play, oh yeah, I can't hear it. Okay, so if I press play again, I still can't hear it. You guys can hear it, I can't hear it. Just 1 second. Speakers. Where do I want to go to? Realtek digital output? No. Oh yeah, because my speakers aren't on. What a maroon. First mistake of the day. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that sounds okay.
I'm detecting a life form up ahead.
Right, so it's terrible acting, and I don't really care. But I do want to go and make this like a kind of robot-y type sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything, and we're going to pick out the best take, but I want to sort of, you know, try and do stuff with it. So I don't know, vocoder? Would vocoder do it? Okay, well maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna go and figure this out, and we'll come back to this when I've got everything sorted. Right, okay, so Audacity, robot voice. How to make a robot voice in Audacity using free software. Okay. Start with a text-to-speech program. All right, that would work. Get Audacity, create a robot voice. Okay. Well, that's not good. Text to speech. That's to create a robot voice. Okay, so I guess we wait until this finishes, but select the whole audio file so we can get rid of this one here. Actually, we can try it with this one here. See how it sounds. So we'll add it in here. Sure. And then we'll do Control A, and so we'll move this one to here, and this one here. So we press Control A, click on Effect, and change pitch, and change the pitch to -14, -14, and OK. And then choose Echo, change delay time to 0.015, 0.65, click OK, and then choose tempo, change tempo, decrease tempo by 10%. And then click on OK. And then repeat steps 4 and 5. In the effect menu, choose Echo, Echo, and to 0.05, 0.65, OK. Okay, so this is now going to sound like this.
I can't see anything of value in this junk pile. I can't see anything of value in this junk pile.
Yeah, it's alright.
I can't see anything of value in this junk pile. The notice above the big red button says, push the big red button. It's fairly obvious when you think about it. I mean, it's a big red button. The notice above the big red button says, push the big red button. It's fairly obvious when you think about it. I mean, it's a big red button.
Okay.
I'm detecting a life form up ahead. I'm detecting a life form up.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I mean, let's see what this
I
has got.
can't see anything of value in this junk pile. The notice above the big red button says push the big red button. It's fairly obvious when you think about it. I mean, it's a big red button. I'm detecting a life form up ahead.
Okay, well, we've got that as backup. Alright, so in Audacity, what I want to do now is I think this one was the best take for that one. So I want to zoom in, and I just want to get the text there. So I want to get...
I'm detecting a life form up ahead. I'm detecting a life form up ahead.
So I want to get that, okay?
I'm detecting a life form up ahead.
So I want to do Control C, Control N, Control V, and that gives me my new file. So I'm going to change, I'm going to export this as a WAV file, and I'm going to call this, where do I want to store it in here just now. Actually, I want to store it inside Subtitles, Assets, and then I'm going to call this folder Audio. And I'm just going to put this in as the name of it, Detecting Life Form. So I'm just going to call it Detecting Life Form, which is good enough for me. So track title, life form. So, hopefully that's clear enough. I'll remember it. Now, if I go back over here, should be yeah, this one here. So I think this one was probably a good take.
The notice above the big red button says, push the big.
No, it wasn't that good. Let's try this one here.
The notice above the big red button says, push the big red button. It's fairly obvious when you think about it. I mean, it's a big red button. The notice above the big red button says, push the big red button. It's fairly obvious when you think about it. I mean...
Okay, so let's do Control C, Control N, Control V. And then we'll call this one export as WAV file, and we'll call this big red button. And we'll save it. And we'll call this big red button. Okay. And then the first one is the second take, I think, was probably the best one of this one.
I can't see anything of value in this junk pile.
Yeah, that was definitely the second one.
I can't see anything of value in this junk pile. I can't see anything of value in this junk pile.
That's it. Okay. And V, and then we do our export to WAV, and we'll call this junk pile. And this is going to be junk pile. Okay. Okay. Oh. No. 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 And no. Okay. So that's everything from there. Actually, I just destroyed the voiceover there, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. Because you can easily replicate it using this effect here. So what I'll do is I'll put a note in here. New text document, how to create a robot voice. And I'll put it in here and then put full details here. And then I'm just going to copy and paste the text here. So, I mean, really we just want to have this here. Because that's all that we're really interested in, is that part there. So when we go back to Unity, you should have an audio folder here, and we've got big red button. So when we click on play,
the notice above the big red button says, push the big red button. It's fairly obvious when you think about it. I mean, it's a big red button.
yeah, so there you go. I'm covering over this microphone, but it's picking up on the other microphone there. All right, so that's that one there, and then we'll leave that to your imagination there. So what I want to do though is I also want to I want to import the standard assets, import package, and then I want to import, is it characters? I think it's characters. So I want to import characters, and I don't want first person character or rollerball. I want the third person character. So yeah, I don't want first person character and I don't want rollerball. I just want the third person character. So that's all I'm going to import. There's other files in there, but I'm not entirely sure if we need them or not, so I'm going to import them anyway. And then I'm going to go and I can't remember where this is, so I'm going to I want to create just a sort of basic platform layout stuff. So I've never used it before, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this particular video, not the video that I'm actually wanting to put out, which is doing subtitles. But I wanted to learn how to do the making primitives inside Unity. So Unity make shapes. I can't remember what it is called. No, there's a new one in there. What is it called? blog.unity3d.com. I'm sure it'll be in the blogs. So Bolt, new publishers, Octane renderer, roadmap, learning neon, photogrammetry, no, Unity partners, shader graph, Pro Builder, that's the one. So I've never used Pro Builder, and so I'm gonna use Pro Builder. So where do we download it from? There we go. Starting here with installing and upgrading. Okay, so Windows Asset Store Pro Builder. Okay. Perhaps we shouldn't have experimental stuff like that, but you know, whatever. Alright. So this will be fun. I've never done this before. So I'm going to click on import. And let's build just a simple scene that I want to make that looks a bit like this. Like that. See that? It's just a room, the corridor, and a big red button. And yeah, that's all there is. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Alright, so we need to go back to Unity, and inside our scene, I'm gonna go to Procore, ProBuilder, ProBuilder window. Okay, so here I have my ProBuilder window, and I'm just gonna dock it in here. That's good enough. And click on new shape, and my shape is gonna be 5 by 5, no, 5 by 1 by 5. Okay, so it's gonna be a 5 by 5 room. Maybe that's not enough. Let's make it 8. 8 by 8 room, okay. Build cube. Okay, so there is my cube. It's kind of nice and easy. And so what I want to do now is I want to have a new shape, and the shape is going to be an arch and radius of 3. Let's give it a radius of 3. Thickness 0.5 is good enough. Depth is 0.5. And number of sides is 8. And yeah, that's right. Okay, build arch. And then I want to whoa. What did I do there? Let's do arch again. Whoa. 180. Okay. And then build arch. Okay. And feel like the tools aren't working the way that they should be working. Like, am I missing the wrong? Okay, they are working, sorry. Okay, so that is 90. And plonk that down onto here. That's good enough. And bring them up to there. That's also good enough. And maybe just want to scale it in just a little bit. Yeah, it's also good enough. And I'm going to create a little sign here. So a new shape, and it's going to be a cube, and it's going to be 1 by 1 by 1, and we'll build a cube. Okay. And this is going to be our little sign. So our sign is going to have, let me hide this just now. So our sign is going to have, so if I choose face and click on that, and then I can scale it, I think. So I can choose scale. No, I can duplicate it and then scale it. Oh dear, I don't know if that's right, but whatever. Okay, and then duplicate it and then extrude it. Okay, that's good enough. Good enough for our purposes. Clearly that's not what you should be doing, but whatever. So if I get this cube back, you see that we now have like it's good enough. Yeah, so we've got this crazy setup here. Okay, that looks kind of like an information booth, I guess. Yeah, it's good enough. Okay, and now if we plonk our 3D guy into here, so characters, third person character, and where's our prefab? Third person controller, and we drop him down here. We should be able to play the game. And the camera's way off. So I will go back into our game and grab that camera and move it over here. Move it in a little bit, up a little bit, and a little bit. And I want to get it so that it's kind of facing kind of behind them and sort of down a little bit. So I'm going to rotate this way. That's good enough. And then rotate down a little bit to there. That is also good enough. And then for this one here, I'm gonna just duplicate it and then move it across to here. And again, you could probably do this a little bit better, but again, I'm kind of pressed for time, not really interested in how well this kind of looks. I just want to make sure it's going to work for our purposes. So scenes, and I'll call this test, subtitle test. And I'll click on OK. Alright, so there's our game. And yeah. Now, script. I don't think there's a camera control in here, so let's not bother That's not the point of this. It's just to get this guy to wander around. Okay, so let's get him to wander around just a little bit closer. And I'm going to make that local. Okay, let's make it inside the room just a little bit. I know this is a lot of faffing around, but yeah. It's not going to be in the actual video, so I know a lot of people get kind of annoyed when I do these kind of things, so like I do a lot of faffing around.
So,
Yeah?
we're just going to book her a flight, okay?
Okay.
It's going the 5th of July to the 16th of August.
Okay. Let's do new walls, and let's have 1 by 8 by 1. Build a cube. Okay, so that is that one. Oh no, that's not right. Let's delete that. By 8, and let's build a cube. All right, there we go. There's our wall there. So I'm going to move this wall over to here. Let's make that empty. Yeah, we'll make that 12 by 3. Oh. 12 by 3, and then that would be 6. No, 4. There you go, 4. Okay, and then we'll duplicate that. And we'll rotate that back to 0. And again, this doesn't have to be accurate. I'm not looking for accuracy. I'm just looking for something to block the character so that when we're playing the game, it looks like he's in a room. Okay, so that's the idea. And I'll do the same thing for here as well. So I'm going to create another shape. And then this is going to be, let's make that 3, 8, and 8. So we do build cube, and that gives us a nice thick wall here. And we'll rotate that 90 degrees as well. And we'll drag that in place to about here. Yep, that's good. And then drag the copy across to here. And we can make this, like the nice thing about making this a grid is that we can make this fairly accurate. So 4 should get us like bang slap on there. And then so therefore that should be -3 should get us to there. So that's good. So now from the game's point of view, it looks like he's in a room, and we can add sort of more tunnel to this, I guess. So let's make that a little bit, we can make this a little bit wider and then add some like roofing to it. So we want to scale it here. No, I want this to be object. That's why I was in the wrong mode the whole time. So if I make this like super long, and let's just move it back so it's a little bit inset here. Okay. All right, so now it's starting to look a bit more like a room, And you see that when we go over here, he's going to hit a bounding box, and then it's going to play something, and then when he goes over to this junk pile, it's going to play something, and then so on. So that's the sort of general idea. Why is the materials not on this guy? Ethan Gray, Ethan White. Ethan Skeleton. Ethan Body. Does it have any materials? Ethan Gray. Ethan White. Oh, that's worse. Ethan Gray. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess you're not getting any colours there, Ethan. That's your real name. Okay, so that's that done, and then we can go into here and do that kind of stuff. Okay. I'm not going to bother with, like, I was going to do a whole animation thing. It's, again, not missing the point of this video. But I do need a big pile of junk over there. So I am going to create a new shape, cube, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, create cube. And I'm just going to make this the junk pile. So rotate this ever so slightly. And that way, that way. And that way a bit, and that way a bit, and maybe that way a bit. Okay, so make that the junk pile over there, whatever that junk pile is, but it's a good enough junk pile. So when our character enters that, let's move that out of the road. So yeah, you should be blocked by that. Okay, so he hits that, and then he hits that over there, and then he hits in there. Okay. So that is our sort of volumes. So now what I want to do is I want to, how far can I put this over here? Let me put this over to here. So now what I want to do is I want to create 3, so let me create empty, and I'll put this at 0, 0, 0, and I'm going to call this room shapes. And I'm going to put everything underneath that room shape. So everything's now going to go underneath that room shape. So if I turn the room shape off, everything disappears. Okay. I'm going to move that up to there as well, just to sort of keep it good. And then what I want to do is I want to have colliders. Now the colliders are just going to play a sound when we hit them. So we're going to have to write a little script for that. So I'm going to create a folder, scripts, and I'm going to create a C# script, and it's going to be called play audio. Actually, it's going to be play voiceover. Voiceover. And let's go and create the empty ones here. So this is going to be junk collider. Actually, it's going to be junk trigger. And then we're going to add a collider, and it's going to be a, I think we're going to make it a capsule collider. Let's make it a capsule collider. And the capsule collider is there, is going to have a height of, that much. And it's going to be kind of over here, and then a radius of that. Okay. So just something in there, and it's going to be a trigger. So just when the player enters that's when that's going to hit. And I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm going to do the same thing for this one over here. So this is going to be the not junk trigger. This is going to be the button trigger. And then for the archway trigger, I'm going to create another empty object, and this is going to be I'm just going to put it at 0, 0, 0 just now, and I'm going to add a box collider for that one. And again, that's going to be a trigger. So I need to bring that up here, and need to make that 8. No, 1, 4, and 4, maybe. Yeah, this looks good enough. And we'll set it to be just inset, so just inside there. And again, this is going to be a trigger as well, and it is going to be a corridor trigger. So these are the volumes that we're going to set up that when we detect a collision against them, so we detect that the player has entered there, we're going to play a sound. And to do that, we're going to have to do this script. So I'm going to double click on play voiceover, and it's going to freeze the video. So the first thing is this script has to have an audio source. So I'm going to say requires component type of audio source. So it has to have an audio source. If it doesn't have an audio source, I can't do anything for you. And then I'm going to have an awake. And then inside my awake, I'm going to say, do I need to do anything in awake? I don't think I need to do anything in awake, actually. Actually, no, let's cache the audio source. Private audio source, and we'll just call it audio. Is there an audio source? Let me just call that A just now. Yeah, okay. So I want to call it audio source. Audio source equals get component audio source. And then I'm going to have it when it does the on trigger enter. And I want to say if other dot tag player audio source dot play. And that's it. So we have our audio source here, which is going to be added if we don't already have it for the script. And we have on the awake, we cache this value here. So this is a good this is the best time to get the component, because this is actually quite costly. You don't really want to do get component at runtime, especially when you're playing the game. You want to try and get all this information as close to the load as you can, as close to the scene loading as you can. And then on our trigger enter, we're going to play, but only if the player enters the trigger. We're not interested in anything else. So we have to make sure that our third person controller is marked as being player. So we're going to choose player here, and that should come up and fix that up as player. Okay, so that's player. So if I go to the junk trigger and I add that play voiceover, you'll see that it adds the audio source already. First things first, we don't want to play on awake, so we're going to turn that off. And then the other thing is we're going to drag that audio clip across to our audio source, which is our junk pile audio source. So now, hopefully, this will just work and we'll be able to hear audio.
I can't see anything of value in this junk pile.
There you go. Can't see anything of value in this junk pile. And then we'll do the same thing for the big red button, and we'll do the same thing for the archway, and we'll do that just now. So we'll go to the button trigger, play voiceover, and again we don't want to play on awake, and we don't want to have, we do want to have a big red button. That's that one done, and then the corridor trigger is also going to have play voiceover, and don't play there, and detecting life form. So now when we go down the corridor, we should get the detecting life form clip. So we'll head straight to the detecting life form clip.
I'm detecting a life form up ahead.
There you go.
I'm detecting a life form up ahead.
So it played it twice because we entered it.
I can't see anything of value in this junk pile.
So if we do that,
I can't see anything of value in this junk pile.
it'll always play it.
The notice above the big red button says, push the big red button. It's fairly obvious when you think about it. I mean, it's a big red button.
So that is our our room setup, and all we need to do now is we need to add our subtitles, and that's the actual video that we're going to be doing this week. So this is just a bonus video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed me faffing around trying to get Pro Builder to work. It seems quite powerful. I've never used it before, and I'm looking forward to playing around with it. It feels very old school. It feels like almost I should be calling them brushes, if that takes you back. So yeah, it feels kind of Unreal-y type Quake building things like Hammer, that kind of environment. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, and don't forget to watch the actual video of this week, which is the subtitles one. Cheerio.